Alright, this is Fakafon's review of Street Fighter 2. This intro's a little long though. Some of you might be wondering, why are you starting with game number 2 and not game number 1? Well, I can give you my one-word review of game number 1. Street Fighter 2 is a game that originally came out in the arcades in 1991, but eventually it made its way on home consoles. And most of you probably know this, but there's like 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 versions of this game. So today I'm only gonna talk about 2 of them. We'll start with World Warrior, one of the first iterations of the game. And you know, since we're fucking badass, we're gonna play on the hardest difficulty. The reason I do this is because if you don't play on the hardest difficulty in the game, you don't get the ending. You don't get the full ending of the character. You just get like, hey, nice job, why don't you try harder? And it's like, well, fuck you. Now, full disclosure, I only know how to play 2 characters, Ryu and Ken, and like a little bit of Blanca, so you're probably gonna see me just play as Ryu and Ken. Sorry. Alright, classic arcade style. Basically, you need to beat up the whole roster. We're starting off with Chun-Li, and honestly, she's not really hard. She likes to jump a lot, so all you need to do is uppercut her a few times, and you're fine. Next up is Blanca. The trick with this guy is to not get distracted by the pretty snake. Because if you get distracted by pretty snake, then you know you lose. Pretty snake. Focus. Pretty snake. The fuck was I talking about? After that is Zangief, and let me tell you, this guy is fucking hard to beat. I don't know how I did it, but I somehow managed to like break through his defense and like fucking through owning my technique and abilities, I like finally found a way to defeat this guy. Okay, fine, I cheesed it, shut up. When he loses, like his chest hair looks like the wolf from The Witcher. Then it's Guile, and I gotta say, he's actually really tough to beat, just because the technique he has are like very defensive and they go out really quickly. So if you want to beat up the guy, you just need to be ready. Time to break some bricks. Fucking kick him, fucking jump kicking, fucking shoryuken them! Yeah! This minigame is an homage to the minigame in the first game where you broke bricks with your hand. No, I'm just kidding, I don't know, I pulled that out of my ass. Get that fucking picture out of here. This guy's supposed to be Ryu, you know. After that is Dalsim, that stretchy motherfucker. Actually, he's not that bad just because he's really slow, so usually you can get him just by being faster. After that, Edmund Honda. He's actually not that interesting to fight, but I heard something really cool about Edmund, is that when you knock him down, penny shot! And then it's Ken, in one of my favorite levels in the game. If you know how to play Ryu, then you'll be able to fight Ken, because he's pretty much the exact same guy as Ryu. Yeah, your Dragon Punch ain't worth shit compared to mine. After that, it's the boss rush, and it's always the same thing for every character. It's always Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and then M. Bassoon. The M is for Mister. Now here's a fun fact about Balrog. You can just keep spin kicking the fuck out of him and he'll never block, he'll never dodge, he'll never counter. I mean, and there you go. You win. And here's my favorite part of the game. After Balrog though, it's Vega. And Vega is no joke. That guy beat me to a pulp like fucking 30 times, man. This fucker is really fucking hard and cheap. Fun fact, when I was really young, I used to think that Vega was a girl. Luckily, my brothers were there to politely remind me that he is in fact a boy. That son of a bitch has so much fucking reach with his goddamn claws, he rolls away from my Hadoukens, and he fucking hits like a truck. So how'd I beat him? I don't know how I did it, but I somehow managed to like break through his defense and like fucking through owning my technique and ability. Okay, you get it. After Vega, it's Sagat. And let me tell you, Sagat is a lot more of a pushover than Vega is. He might seem strong, and he is, but the thing is, he always outstretches his arms whenever he does a tiger attack. So you can just like kick him. And he usually doesn't change his pattern, so you just kick his ass and there you go. And then it's finally the final boss, M. Bison. The M is for Megalomaniac! He's hard to beat, he's an asshole, he does scissor kicks all the time. Basically, you just need to like learn what he does and find like some little flaws when he starts jumping and finally you win. Hey, it's the end of the game! Where the fuck is Ryu? We wanna see Ryu! Oh, fuck you, Ryu's off fucking, I don't know, uppercutting waterfalls or some shit. So that was Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior. But of course the game was so popular, or I don't know what the fuck happened, but they decided to make like a million other versions of it, like Turbo, or I don't know, all that other crap. But yeah, we're not gonna play all of these, so we're just gonna go to the next one, The New Challenger. From the get-go, this game improved on a lot of aspects of the first game. For example, just look at the character portraits now and compare them to before. It's like everyone's features are so much better now, you know what I mean? Some animations were better too, like just for example Blanca's walk cycle. I think it looks better. But the main feature is of course the new characters. So you got Cammy, Fei Long, Thunderhawk, and DJ! They're a nice addition to the roster, except I think Fei Long and Thunderhawk have some minor AI issues. What the fuck is he doing? But the story mode remains pretty much the same. You go through the motions of beating up the people in the roster, and then of course at the end you feed the 4 bosses. I think I just said you feed the 4 bosses, goddammit. And let's talk about Balrog again! Except this time spin kicking is not the trick, this time he's weak to Hadoukens! So just switch up your strategy to, you know, fireball his ass, and again, he goes down really easily. I guess he just doesn't get it. A cool feature you can have now is that if you want to select the same character as the guy you're fighting, you can! Because in the World Warrior, if you chose the same character, he would get replaced with the guy you had. And also, there's some more minigames now. So for example, you can break some barrels, or you can beat the fuck out of a car! That's a classic. Well anyway, you beat M. Bison again, and you get the ending. And this time, it looks way better. Also, the music got like a really big upgrade. So that's it for Street Fighter 2. I really like the game, and honestly I recommend it to pretty much anyone who wants to play a good fighting game. I can't tell you much about Street Fighter 5 because I haven't played it. I played Street Fighter 4 and I liked it a lot, especially playing Dudley, but yeah, Street Fighter 2. It's pretty cool. Go play it. Well, actually, before I leave...
Just get in the plane.